Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Tonight we are going to get up and running with Spring Boot and the Gemini large language model from Google. It's awesome, it's cool, it's easy when you know how to set stuff up, but when you don't need to know how to do that, then it's actually a bit complex. So first of all, you need a Google account, of course. You need a Google Cloud project, and that's actually it. And then you need to log in. So the first step is to log in to Google, and you do that by running this command right here. If you don't have the gcloud command, the client, sorry, then you just download that, of course, and install that. Because the reason why we want to do that is when you run this gcloud auth application default login, then you will be transferred to your preferred browser. Actually, the browser you have used the last time, and also with the profile that you have used the last time. If you have multiple profiles, for instance Chrome, then you will be transferred to the one that you have used the last time. So, just so you know that. Then you can log in with your Google credentials, and then a file would be created on your local system. It does not matter right now where this file is located, but you can easily look it up if you're interested. Then you just look up file location of the application default for GCP and Google, and then you'll find the location of your file. Of course, you can also use service account JSON files instead. Then you would just download that service account JSON file, and then you need to tweak a little. Then you need to tweak this example a little bit. I'll show you where you need to tweak it. Another thing is that you should probably set a default project. It's always good to set a default project so you suddenly are not changing and manipulating another project in the Google Cloud than you are expecting to. Maybe you just have one because you just are making a demo, then that's fine. But if you are playing around with multiple projects, then make sure that you have set the default project right here. Okay, so Gemini, how do we get up and running with that? The first thing with Gemini is that we need the token. So if I've created this chat service right here. First of all, I've created the whole project by pressing File, New, Project right here. Then it shows Spring Initialize. I chose Java Gradle this time just for fun. And actually, I think I'm running Java 21 or maybe it's Java 22 actually on this example right here. But it does not matter. But then you press Next. Then I've added Spring Web. I added the Spring Data, JPA, and I added Lombok for boilerplate, so I don't have to write all of that boilerplate code. Lombok, then I also get some easy logging tags as well. And then I pressed Finish, and then I got this project right here. Okay, so inside this project, there's a lot of OpenAI stuff, so if you're interested in that, then watch my other videos with OpenAI and how to generate audio, video, and how to transcribe your existing videos if you're interested in that, or existing audio. Then you can do that with OpenAI. Of course, you can also do that with the Google framework, but we will come to that soon, not now. So first of all, to get up and running right here, I've created this Gemini chat service class right here. We need to put together a URL, and this URL is not just something that I made up. Of course, I looked it up in the documentation, but what it needs is it has this format right here. It has a location. And then it has and then this AI platform, Google APIs, version 1, projects. Then you need to take your project name, which is right here. And then it takes your location once again. And then it takes your model in as a last argument right here. So we have location, project ID, location, and model ID. And I'm using the string format just to put this put this together. You could have done this in thousands of other ways, but that was how I chose to do it. And this is our URL for the Gemini endpoint. And here we have my project right here, Mike's Demo Project 2023, and then the location. I'd use your West 4 to just choose whatever you want to. It's always good to choose one that is close to you, then you have the lowest latency. And here we have the model ID, Gemini 15/001. If you don't care about the version, if you just want the latest and greatest, and then when there's a new version out there, then you will automatically use that. Then just skip the -001 in the end right here, if you want to do that. And how do you know all that, Mike? You might ask. And the answer to that is actually the is actually right here. This is the Google documentation, and I've placed the URL to this documentation in the README Markdown file. So if I go up in the top right here, it says generate content with Gemini API. And here we have the models that we can choose from: Gemini Pro, Vision, Pro, and Flash. I just took the first one right here, which is the Flash one. And there are differences in the pricing, and of course, as usual, you should always look that up so you can see what kind of bill that you will get in the end. So just to get started, right here we need two pieces of header. We need the authorization, and here we have the Google token, and we need to fetch this token with a special library named, and I'll show you that in just a minute. And then we need to add content type application JSON like this. And actually, I think this would actually be added automatically by the REST template. I've added it manually just to be verbose about what is happening. Here we have the URL right here. So we have the location, project ID, location, model ID, and then and then the rest. As usual, you can see Google's examples right here. In the good old days, they always had also the Java examples, and then they had a cool Java library that we could use. They have that for a lot of their stuff, for a lot of their cloud resources. But in this example right here, we have curl and we have Python. When it comes to machine learning and AI, then Python is the default language. But so if you want to use Java like we do right here, then you have to deconstruct the curl command right here. You can see this is the data that we have to post. And then you have to use the REST template, of course, to send that data. It also gives you a totally 100% control of what is happening, so it is not a bad approach. It's actually quite good in all situations where you have an API, REST API that you are up against, that you're integrating up against. There are a lot of parameters and settings that you can set in with Gemini. We're not going through all of those in this video right here. I'll focus on up and running. So let's go back to the code. We have to generate the header right here. So how did we make that magic happen? We have already logged in, so that means on our machine we have a application default JSON file somewhere. We don't care about where it is because we have a cool library that will help us with that. So if I go to build Gradle right here, then I have this library right here, the Google Auth library OAuth2 HTTP. This is awesome. Whenever you want to do something with Java and whenever you want to do something with the Google Cloud, then use this library to generate the header, because then you can easily take a service account file in JSON file instead of your default account if you want to. So this is it's just awesome to be able to swap between service accounts and your own account. And I'll just show how I did that. So if I go back to the Gemini chat service right here, then I made a method to generate the headers, and you can see here I gave the full path. That's because I'm always choosing the wrong, for some reason, I'm always choosing the wrong package of HTTP headers, and it always confuses me. But it is the Spring Boot headers, HTTP headers that we need. And here is the magic. So here we are creating we have the Google credentials right here, get application default. If you do not want to use your own credentials, if you want to use a service account, then there's something called stream from stream right there. And then you can just give it a file input stream where you point to the file that you have, where you have your JSON, your service account JSON in. So you will just have a from stream and then file input stream, new file input stream, and then the location of your service account JSON file right here. Okay. Then you have to call refresh if expired. That is necessary. And then you can take the token right here. Of course, this time I'm printing out the token. It will be expired when you probably watch the video. But there's actually no reason for printing it out. So just leave that. You do not need to print it out. It was just for debugging actually to begin with when I had some problems. So here we have the header. We added authorization. Of course, I could use the constants. I just like to type in the string right there, and then the value should be bearer, and then the token get token value right here. So that is the string value right there. And here we have the content type, application JSON, and then the character set. and then we return that HTTP headers up here. So that was how we generated the HTTP headers. But what are we? Why are we using it, Mike? Okay, I'll just show that. So we are creating the data to posts is creating from request body method, and the headers are right here, and we're using a request entity. So we are saying, hey, create a new request entity, and as a builder, that's a cool builder pattern for the request entity. That means first you will choose your HTTP method, and that is post for this situation right here. Then you will give the URI, URL, or it is actually your URI of the type URI. So then you'll place that right here. Then you will add your headers, and then you make sure that you add the body in the end, because that is when your builder is done building the request entity right here, which we have created right here. So yeah, so this is the cool request entity builder pattern that you have right here. The body itself is created right here, and of course I could have used classes. Whenever you see something like that, I could have created classes a class with a member variable named contents, and then I could have created another class, and that could have had a list of another class that had role, and then user, and then parts, and then whatever text that I could come up with. This the reason why this is a list is because that you could have the support for multiple chat prompts. So that means that if you had a whole conversation with Gemini, then you can actually have that like this. So you just have the oldest first, and then used in the bottom of your list, in the bottom of the JSON that is being posted. Of course, in our situation, we have the JSON object mapper is automatically generating and creating the JSON for us, so we don't think about that. We just have the REST template right here, and this is has been set up here. Private static final REST template, and we just set it right here. It could also have been injected if you wanted to instead. Then we just need to construct inject it. That's why I added the required args constructor. This means that if I had private static final and I did not initialize it right here, then it would have then Spring would have tried to construct inject it instead. There would have been Lombok would have created a constructor that would match this parameter right here, this member variable, because it's private. That is how Lombok works with at required args constructor right here. But enough about that. We just set it to something new right here. So we're actually not using the Spring injection for this example right here. And this is also why when we go to the test, and you will see I'm not using a Spring Boot test. I'm just creating a normal JUnit test actually. So here we have the data to post. That is right here. Then we are creating the request entity with the headers and the body. And then we say, give us the response right here. And then log the response afterwards right here, and then return the response. And I've created a test for that. So it's not that many lines, it's just like 8 lines. And again, when you know how to do this, it's quite easy. Let's go to the test. So we have the test right here. And the prompt that I've chosen right now is how do I make soft-boiled eggs. I think my eggs, they always end up hard-boiled instead. It's usually because I forget them, but that is probably that's probably not something that Gemini can help me with. Yeah. So then I'm using assertions. So that is because I'm using assert J, because it looks cooler. So then I assert that the response is not blank. And this is a JUnit test, and it's JUnit 5. You can see that because Jupiter is the 5th planet in the solar system. If it was JUnit 4, then you would not see that package name right there. Okay, so the prompt, it actually worked. It actually worked without any errors. So here we have the response, candidates, content, role, models. Okay, so this is the model that returns this. This is not the user. So when we made the request, we wrote role and then user, and now we get role model back. And then we have some parts right here. In this situation right here, we just got the we have a lot of other stuff that we need to look at. We will look at that in another video right here. So first of all, how to make soft-boiled eggs. What you'll need, and then a new line. Of course, it's not formatted right now. Actually, maybe I could get it formatted if we just take this and then we say copy. Let's go to the markdown file just for fun. What will happen if I paste it in here? It still doesn't look good. paste as plain text. Just for fun, let me just see right here. It is a bit larger, but it didn't look that well. Okay. Okay, how to make soft-boiled eggs. What you need, eggs, fresh is the best. Pot, I need a pot large enough to hold the eggs comfortably. And then we have the cold water. We need some cold water, okay. So ice bath, bowl of ice water, and a timer. We need a timer, okay. We need a slot spoon, which is optional. Here comes instructions. Prepare the eggs. Place the eggs in a single layer in the pot. Make sure the eggs are fully submerged in the cold water, adding more water if necessary. Bring to a boil. Turn on the heat to high and bring the water to a rolling boil. Okay, reduce heat and set timer. Once the water is boiling, immediately reduce the heat to low and start your timer. Cook for desired doneness. Okay. For runny yolks, 3 to 4 minutes. For slightly set yolks, 4 to 5 minutes. For set yolks, 5 to 6 minutes. And immediately after cooking, transfer the eggs to an ice bath. This stops the cooking process and makes them easier to peel. And this is what a lot of people actually forget. Put them in the ice bath or just under running cold water. Will also do the trick. But ice bath is of course more efficient. So then once the eggs are cool enough to handle, gently tap them on a hard surface to crack the shell, and then peel under cold running water for easier peeling. Okay, serve. Enjoy your soft-boiled eggs. You can eat them as is, or add salt and pepper. Yeah, I usually do that. Or make them into deviled eggs. Okay. Tips: older eggs peel easier. Okay. So, okay. So the older they are, the easier the peel. Eggs that are a week or two old tend to peel better than fresh eggs. Okay, salt the water. Adding a pinch of salt to the water helps to prevent eggs from cracking. Don't overcrowd the pot. Yeah, that is also something that a lot of people, they do. Including myself, they overcrowd the pot. Make sure you do not overcrowd the pot. Make sure there's enough space between the eggs so they cook evenly. Yes, of course, you want all of the eggs to be cooked evenly. Use a slot spoon, and this is optional again. A slot spoon helps to easily remove the eggs from the boiling water without cracking them. Okay. Test the yolk. If you're unsure of the doneness, try piercing the egg yolk with a toothpick. Yeah, that was a good trick. If it is still runny, cook for a little longer. Okay. Enjoy your perfect soft-boiled eggs. Yes. That's really cool. What you need? Okay, and then we get some more examples right here. What was this? Then stop here, right here. Enjoy your eggs. Yeah, soft-boiled eggs. Then it comes again. So now we have how many? It just, I think it came twice, or did I paste it twice? I don't know. But we got the response. We're actually happy. I think it's just me who... Yeah, it was me who... I pasted it twice, so... Yeah, it is only that once, so that's good. Okay. And here we have a lot of metadata. We will go into this metadata in the next video. This was just to get up and running with Gemini and Java and Spring Boot and the cool REST template. And you can see right here, this is my documentation, right? This is my Java doc. Because I just took this from the documentation, of course, and I pasted it in, so I knew what kind of JSON that I wanted to generate right here. And of course, next time we might make some nice classes out of this instead, just to make it a bit nicer, so it's type safe. Thank you so much for watching, as usual. Thank you very much for your comments, and I hope to see you again very soon. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.